The stock in focus is UGRO Capital. The market is weak today. The stock has come down, but still gaining 1.5%. But it made a high of 310 today, almost 10% higher gap up. Yesterday too, it was gaining 7-8%, and that was because we broke the story, and now it's official that UGRO Capital has done 1,300 crore plus kind of fundraising from a clutch of smart investors, including private equity like Semina Capital, and also some very high net worth individuals and family offices. Very interesting name: Juneja family, Mankind Pharma, Ranjan Pai, Madhu Kela, and many others. We have Shachindra Nath, who's the founder MD of UGRO Capital, to talk more. There's of course blockbuster set of numbers and a small acquisition too. So we'll talk about all three elements of UGRO. Shachindra ji, afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. First of all, congratulations. A big fundraise, 1,300 crore plus. At your market cap, it appears really large, and one section of the market believe that yes, marquee names have come up. We have not seen this kind of a representation from the family office community so widely in any fundraise recently. But will it not lead to a big dilution on that current market cap, or it will be staggered, so will not lead to big dilution immediately?
Look, it's a perspective. If you ask my existing investor, obviously they will also say, "Oh, Sachin, you are diluting us so much, and why that should be the case." But my belief have always been when I started, on my small capital, I raised 1,000 crore and got diluted down to 3%. Nobody has ever done that here. When we were actually only at 1.1 time price to book value, I raised money from government, took a dilution at that time, and I did this the third time. The fundamental reason is my belief that there is very large, massive market opportunity. There is a possibility to build an institution around small business financing. The data stack around GST banking and bureau is exploding. Underlying economy in tier 2, tier 3 towns. We saw that in the roadshows which we did around small towns, and all of that requires ultimately a very strong capital base. There are two types of players. You have a large corporate house running NBFC, wherein market, especially the banks and liability side, believe whenever the capital is needed, they will put in. Whether they put in or not put in, but that's the perception. And there are people like us. I always say there is a set of people who are blessed with Lakshmi and set of people who are blessed with Saraswati. For people who are blessed with Saraswati, we have to demonstrate that we have locked capital for our next 2-3 years of growth. While at the front end, it may just look very dilutive, but the resultant of that and what would get created, and for shareholders, the remaining equity and what value it can generate for them is very, very phenomenal. This capital raise actually underwrites our next 2.5 years of growth. It takes our capital adequacy from 21% straight to 30 because of the way this is structured. As we'll be ending our 25 and we'll be going into 26, the warrants would start getting converted, and that would give you another round of capital. Hopefully, I'm hopeful that the market, see the part of this strategy. That this is a company which has been able to convince its existing board and existing shareholder to take dilution, so that this can build into an institution in next 2 to 3 years time. What I have always desired.
Fair point.
I
In
don't.
fact, let me put it on the table that one of your biggest private equity players so far was Semina Capital, close to 10%, 9%. They are doubling down at this price so that they want to participate. So this 2-3 year capital which you'll have adequately now, how much loan book, incremental loan book can it generate now? You have 2-3 years oxygen with you, and you are closer to 9,000 crore right now. In next 2-3 years, how much growth capital does this fundraise provide to you?
Yeah. In last 24 months, there are two things which we have learned. One, we have amply demonstrated that whatever size we want to grow, we can grow. The management team, our capital capacity, our physical and digital infrastructure actually can throw a very large size volume. But simultaneously, a company which is listed and which has to now attract broad-based investor, we have to deliver what we call, an optimal performance, which a very large vintage, and listed NBFC throws. So we were 3,000 crore in 22, we were 6,000 crore in 23, we have 9,000 crore in 24. And what we are saying that our current physical infrastructure will deliver at least minimum of the same volume. What we are adding now, what we are saying that we have to now move from our 2.5% to 4% on return on asset, from our 9% to almost 16, 17% return on equity in 8 to 10 quarters. And how that would happen? Because we are now deeply entrenching into our micro enterprises business. We are opening, we were at 75 location, we are going to 150 in this month end, and then year end will be 250 location, and by year 26 end will be 400 location. But it is not just physical expansion. UGRO has a very unique proposition. It is only company in MSME financing which can do up to 3 crore of secured loan. It can do a highly digital business loan. It can do a small ticket, 8 to 10 lakh rupees of secured loan. It is only lending company which also does, equipment and green financing, CNC, printing, packaging, rooftop solar, plastic molding, testing machine. We also is doing retailer financing and multiple other things. And all of this we are bringing through all of our channel. So whether it is an intermediary channel, we are telling all our intermediary, which is DSA partner, do every loan for our customer. All of our these 400 branches will do all of the product, and that would create a very
Sure.
unique proposition, and that's what would grow both AUM and bottom line performance.
Yeah, so you talked about 369,000 crore AUM and the trajectory there. So FY25, should we imagine 12,000? The number has a nice ring to it. And you've also made the acquisition of My Shubh Life to kind of propel that further. Talk to us about that and the AUM target for the coming year.
Ma'am, I would presume that as a growth company, we would deliver more than what number you have just quoted. Yeah, but I've learned the art of not promising too much but delivering more than that. So take that as a base case. And now coming to My Shubh Life, this is very, very interesting proposition. So as you know, we are a very deep entrenched data tech company. We have ability to take GST banking and bureau, create a score, for it for 60 minutes, then it goes to the credit officer. But there is one segment of the market which we were not being able to address. So think of a small shopkeeper who is on, say, Airtel or a Fino payment bank. He receives money on a QR code, money goes and sits into the bank account of Fino and Airtel, and over the next 3 4 days, he has to spend, or he has to spend and receive the money from its customer. Now he need a short-term credit which is based upon his this transaction flow. That requires a highly technology intensive, deeply integrated platform to some of these payments bank, and also a deep data analytics to understand this transaction flow. It's not that we could have not built it, but we would have taken 2 years. All of a sudden, through our partnership channel, My Shubh Life came to us, saying that why don't we partner with them? And we told them that the regulatory landscape, the way it is moving, such platform under the fold of a large balance sheet can prosper exponentially. We went to their investors, and as you may see, their investors are all marquee VC funds. And we told them that you are better off owning UGRO share rather than owning My Shubh Life. And that's why we did a swap. We acquired them for 45 crores, of which 65% would go in form of shares, balance in cash. But what it gives is access to a deeply integrated platform to Fino, Airtel Bank, MobiKwik, and many others. And 15 more such partners we will bring. This, on a most conservative basis, can add almost 2 lakh retail merchants and
Wow.
almost 100 crore of incremental PAT in next 3 years.
So
We are
100 crores worth of incremental PAT from the acquisition itself in the next 3 years.
yeah, beside our
Perfect.
PATs what we deliver.
Sure.
So yeah.
So then you said 12,000 is a lot conservative for FY25, but let's talk the big picture because you're clearly very aspirational. When do you hit that AUM figure of, let's say, 25,000 crores? Is it possible by FY26?
Of course.
Sorry, could you please repeat that, sir?
I said, of course.
Oh, wow. So you're being very confident about 2025 by FY26 itself. I think you wouldn't hear a more clear answer than that, right?
Clearly, I mean, that is one management who knows the numbers. But one quick word before I let you go, Shachindra Nath. Now that you are adequately funded, you have this strategic acquisition in the bag, which you actually bought for 45 crore, and that to paid 2/3 by share swap. What will be the, with money in the bank, immediate rollout for the next 2 to 3 quarters? We understand your 12 to 24 month plan, but next 2-3 quarters, what is the immediate action plan?
So we actually we just spent what we call UGRO 3.0. You would have seen there one very unique thing in this capital round. Not only myself, but top 25 people of the management team put their own hard-earned money into the company. They are salaried people. They've taken money out of their saving account and put money into the company because as a part of UGRO 3.0, we are expanding our micro enterprises. We are making one customer all product, and that is a journey with every quarter we would do. So our first target is to get to stable volume. The headwinds of the liquidity side should be taken care by this equity raise, and then incrementally quarter by quarter keep building. I only request all your viewers, all my investors, that look at UGRO from an 8 quarter journey, and what we would build and deliver to you is a unique institution around small business financing, which I think so everyone should love it.
Mr. Nath, on that note, we let you go and all the best for the kind of targets you have set. We are very sure that you'll be able to achieve them.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.